Hello, hello, hello. No sugar. I don't know what I'm going to talk about today because I haven't really done any research. I haven't looked. Let's just go to the Daily Mail website. Boo, hiss. Look, it's free. There's no paywall and there's lots of stories. All right. So you can all get upset about that. Oh my God, Prince Harry's writing a book. Apparently, $20 million deal. Apparently, he's giving the money to charity, but he's gonna spill the beans. He's gonna spill the beans about being privileged and that, and everyone's gonna feel sorry for him because he's privileged, born into privilege, but it's still not enough, Yeah, it's tiring, isn't it? The whole Harry thing. When he said he was going to go off and do, have a quiet life, you just think, why didn't you just go off and have a quiet life like Prince Edward did back in the day? But for somebody who wants a quiet life, he's not really doing a very good job of it, is he? Again, I don't really care, but it just seems to be the opposite of what he wants to do. But I'm sure it will all work out. In the end, it'll all be just fine. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Migrant Watch. Because the weather's been so nice in the UK, they reckon there's a heat wave, and the Met Office has issued its first ever amber extreme weather warning about the temperatures because I think it's the southwest and parts of Wales that are going to get 91.4 degrees. That's very, very warm. It's very, 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 very warm. It should be over by Thursday, because we don't have air conditioning here in the UK. It's not like in other places where they have massive air conditioning units, so we all just tend to melt. We wilt. But because it's so still, the English Channel is like a mill pond, and so the boats have been arriving on the coast of Kent, and migrants have been spilling out. There's some great pictures. You just have to use my words. They're using these really, really big, massive dinghy things, like kind of real proper dinghies. Now again, look, we need to actually get something implemented on the French coast. We need to actually just like set up a taxi service, because then that'll put all the criminals out of business. We could just bring them over and then take them back again. It'd be like a day trip, cheap day return. But it put all the people smugglers out of business. That's what they really need to do, because those are the people that are causing us all this heartache. And again, people do drown in the Channel, and it's very unsafe. And that's where I'm coming from. It's the safety aspect, because there've been families and children that have died because they've been desperate to get here. Obviously fleeing persecution from the EU. Boo, hiss. The EU, boo. I'm talking about European Union, not Europe. Europe's good, EU bad. They're fleeing the EU. So I expect there'll be even more now because the weather's so nice for them. But we need to, like I say, sort something out so we can bring people over safely, and then send them back again safely, and then bring them back, and then take them back again. Will there ever be an end? No, there won't, because if there's money in it, people are going to do it. I think it's probably more lucrative than drug smuggling these days, people smuggling. Meanwhile, Dominic Cummings has been raising his Gollum-like face again, trying to put the knife into dear old, our dear beloved leader Boris Fluffy-haired Johnson, because again, a lot of what's coming out of Cummings' mouth, I'm sure it was Cummings that was saying it at the time. I remember reading these reports when the COVID outbreak began, and there were rumours that they want to go for herd immunity, and so what if the elderly and the elderly die first? There's got to be some sort of cut-off point, and I'm sure that a lot of that came from Cummings' own mouth. But now he's saying it's all Boris did it, Boris, and he joked that that the victims are all in the bracket of being fairly long-lived anyway, being over like the median age was like 82 years. And again, you got to remember, You can't believe anything that Cummins says because he is quite mad. He is a swivel-eyed loon. So I do find it remarkable that a lot of these political commentators who were completely against him and anti-Cummins are now on his side because he's putting the hatchet into Boris Johnson. And you go, boy, you flip-flop, didn't you? You flip-flop quickly. But the big talking point of this is Boris was going to go and see the Queen. And Parrot Cummins stopped him. Stopped him and said, but you can't. You could kill the Queen with the COVID. And I can't wait for the TV movie. I can't wait for the TV movie to to be made, where they will bring back the Gollum model from Lord of the Rings to star as dear old Dominic Cummins. All my eyesight should have gone to Specsavers. So I'm trying to find some other good stories. Any other good ones? Oh God, this is one. This is one for the Aussies. This is again, it's to do with the COVID and everything. Katie Hopkins, who is just, again, she made her name on a program called The Apprentice, which is the UK version of the show that was made famous by Donald Trump. And that's where my love for Donald Trump came from, because I used to watch the US version. I loved that show. You kind of spoil it by becoming president. We'll never get any more Donald Trump Apprentice shows. I like those. But anyway, Kay Hopkins got a break on that show being, well, the villain. There's always a villain in these ones, aren't there? She was the villain. And she's gone on to have like a media career being the villain and saying objectionable things. Again, if she thought she could get some press out of something, saying something bad, like she said, dogs are evil, she'd say that just to get press coverage. So I don't rate her very much, I don't rate her very much. But apparently she was in Australia to film, I don't know, Celebrity Big Brother. And they flew her out there, and they've got to isolate. Australia's got very, very, very almost draconian COVID isolation practices in force, where they take you to a mystery hotel and they leave you there, and they feed you. They cut a hole in the door and they feed you through a hole. And she basically wasn't playing ball, so she got kicked off the show and has been sent back again. But she's arrived back in the UK. I think it's the first time, one of our undesirables has gone to Australia and come back again. The jokes are fresh. The jokes they're hot, they're fresh. But what was the quote? She said, "See you in the morning, my lovelies. You may deport the Hopkins." She speaks about herself in the third person. That's a worrying sign. Featured artist does that. "But you cannot silence the truth." What truth? "We will fight to take back our freedoms." Oh boy, and so, but Freedom Day was yesterday. We've got all our freedoms back, haven't we? Oh no, because boo-hoo, #arrest Johnson, boo-hoo. He's incurred the wrath of the freedom-loving anti-vax, anti-mask brigade. How so, Darren? What's he done? He's insisting that people who go to nightclubs have some sort of vaccine pass. Oh my God, how many people does that affect? About, I don't know, 20 people? I'm of the mind that if you go to nightclubs, you should be locked up and the key thrown away anyway, because it's not. But they've taken our freedoms. We want to be able to boogie on down without a mask, and that is the biggest issue in people's lives. You go, oh boy. But the stats are out over here. What was the figure? He got the figure wrong. I think was it Patrick Vallance. He got the figure wrong. He got it arse about face at the news conference last night, where he said, correcting the statistic I gave at the press conference today on the 19th of July, about 60% of hospitalisations for COVID are not from double vaccinated people, rather than 6% hospitalisations from COVID are currently from accident. He got it the wrong way around. He got it the wrong way around. I mean, in the US, is it Fauci? Fauci? I always think of the guy that did all the horror films. Oh, it's Fauci. Fauci. He said something like 99.1% of those that die in the US of COVID are unvaccinated. So it's pretty interesting statistics to take on board. But you got to remember the COVID itself. There's literally like a 6% chance of dying. You don't want to get it. You don't want to be hospitalised. But it is one of those things. It's the randomness of it, the rolling of the dice. And as I am in a protected group, and I'm going to go on about this until the cows come home. For I am now diabetic. My tablets have been dispatched. I may get them soon. Yes, sir, no tablets at all. I've been saving them for when I had a tablet today. They messed up. They messed up my prescription, but I'm still here, folks. I'm still here. So yeah, Katie Hopkins. Yeah, that's fun. Why did they have to send her back? Where can we send her to next? Yeah, nightclub bosses blast Boris over plan for compulsory vaccine passports. Again, the government don't know what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing. Because again, there could be a variant that comes out of all this that trounces the vaccination scheme. Wow. Who knows, eh? Who knows? We've still got the Tokyo Olympics. I mean, that should be interesting because they're in a state of emergency in Japan, and they've decided to actually run the Olympics. So it's going to be pretty boring without the crowd cheering. I wonder if they're going to pump in crowd noise or use artificial crowd noise to get the athletes pumped up. It's going to be hard for things like, is it the high jump, where the crowd goes whoa, how are they going to coordinate that? It's going to take a lot of coordinating to get the whoa to coincide. Yeah. Meanwhile, shopping news, and it's COVID news as well, I'm afraid, because Tesco, Asda, Sainsbury's, their shoppers claim they've had abuse for wearing face masks. But 85% of those on the tube, train and bus are keeping their coverings on. Again, you don't have to, but it's sensible, it's polite. We've got to take on the Japanese and the Far East, their mentality of you're not protecting yourself, you're protecting other people. And again, it's a culture we've got to get used to. Getting behind. But again, I'll never go shopping anyway. I don't want to go in the shops, be around all those horrible people. Yeah. So there's not much else to really go on about the news. Nothing really funny. There's no real more funny stories, I'm afraid. I do like it when there's some good funny stuff, but no. Oh, apparently in newly released files, Bill Clinton snubbed the Queen. She was going to offer him over for tea at Buck House. He snubbed her in favour of curry with Tony Blair. Yeah, that's not good. Who'd want to go for curry with Tony Blair? No one. Only Tony Blair, I would imagine. So yeah, that was a thing. That's history for you, folks. That's history now. I wonder why everything keeps bugging out. Yeah. Bugs out a bit, doesn't it? The old. Maybe it just can't handle the. It says excellent condition, but on my screen it's fine. Now the widget's come up. It's not receiving enough. I might need to turn down my my bit rate. Anyway, let's go to the chat. John's in, and it's sunny in Glasgow. I can imagine many Scots are fainting in the streets, reaching for the iron brew. Kansas reviews in. They say good morning, good morning. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Literary says, how's the coffee? Pegasus is in. Jimith says, morning from Edinburgh. Another one. We got the jocks in. The jocks are obviously they're up early. Maybe they got to collect their dole today. Maybe that's it. Got to go to the job centre. See, this is why they want independence. This is why. And Austria is in. What can I say about Austrians? Have you kept all that Nazi gold well hidden? Yeah. Don't tell him what your great grandfather did. Okay, you should be all right. Video's in, but he's retracted his message. Payne says good morning. Yeah. Well, random conversations. Oh yeah, we had some people. Our downstairs neighbours were out back for ages, just chatting away. Of course, it's all in foreign, so I couldn't understand what they were saying. But they were saying like they were having a good time. There was lots of laughing, so they must have been cracking a few jokes. Probably saying, "Look at that bald-headed idiot up there. Look at him. He makes videos. Nobody watches." My back's broad. So yeah. It's just you. It's just you, Robert. It's just you. So anyway, thanks for watching. I've got to give this a title. I don't know what to call it. Listening to strangers' conversations through the window. I think we'll call it that. I don't. The only I don't want to talk. I can't talk about it because neighbours, Everybody needs good neighbours. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for my drugs to arrive, and the contents of the record store day 2, Electric Boogaloo. I'm waiting for that to turn up. I bought a couple of records that you may be interested in it. Somebody wants to know what my thoughts on giving children COVID vaccination. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it as long as it's safe. I don't have a problem with it. Again, they say that I think it's 14 and above. They become the viral load becomes like transmissible and they become infectious. So I don't have a problem with it. Again, give people a dose of polio or smallpox to deal with, and they'll soon change their mind. All the anti-vax stuff is, it's just hilarious. I find it all very, very, very crazy. No medical procedure is 100% safe. No vaccination is 100% safe. Go and look on the packet of paracetamols or aspirin or whatever. I remember getting some antibiotics once, and it said one of the side effects could be that it could turn your tongue black. Always read the small print. That was just standard antibiotics, People don't take any notice. There is an inherent risk in everything you do, from putting your underpants on in the morning, to cleaning your teeth at night, and everything in between. There is inherent risk. At any time you could die or suffer an injury, but you don't realise it. You don't appreciate that. But it's like that thing about I could wear a seatbelt, but I don't like the way it feels around my chest. I don't want to wear a crash helmet when I'm riding my bike, because it makes me look stupid. And I don't mind if my brains leak out my head when the lorry goes over it. Again, everything else has an inherent risk. If you don't want to take the vaccine, that's fine. That's fine. Don't take it and suffer the consequences. But if you're sensible, and again, I've said this before. I'm somebody who grew up in the 70s, and we had polio vaccines and German measles and mumps and all those ones, and it was like, give me what you've got, doctor. And when I I had an accident, cut my chin open, I had stitches. I had a tetanus shot in my backside and couldn't sit down for a week. But you had to, because these things were dangerous. Now, the tetanus, it runs with the... is it quite interesting, because I didn't know this. I found this out, actually, 3 years ago this very day. It's 3 years ago this very day, Herb cut his knee open because it was the last day of school. It's the last day of school today, but not for Herb because COVID. But he cut his knee open. We went to the surgery to get it stitched up and cleaned out. And we said, oh, does he need a tetanus? He said, well, no, because when we give babies all there is a tetanus in there. And it takes care of it for the entire duration of their life. So I did not know that. There you go. So vaccinations, folks. Oh, but vaccinations cause autism. No, my son was autistic from the very moment I held him. I could tell, because he was different from the very beginning. So there you go. But yeah, science, bitch. It's how you're watching me now. Oh, but they're tracking us. Throw away your mobile phone. Throw away any bank cards you might have. Throw away your television that's probably connected to the internet. You know, oh man, you're going to have to go and live in a tree. Oh no. But yeah. Wash my coffee cup? No, I like it like this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Every week or so, I fill it full of bleach and get it out. That's just a day's use. That's just this morning. That is. That's the only way you're going to get the stains out. Bleach. Is it necessary risk? Oh, I don't know. Am I aware of Robert Malone? Look, I've had the injection, so I don't care. It's done. I'm done. What are you going to do? It's science, bitch. What are you going to do? The one thing that will wipe us all out is it will be a virus. It won't necessarily be a world war or nuclear threat. It'll be a virus, or possibly a meteor impact. You know. Payne says, as a 70s kids, vaccination was just an interesting day at school. Oh, I went to the doctors. I had mine done at Dr. Griffiths. He used to do mine. But no, it was a necessary thing. Your mother said, don't complain. and we could run around and cut our knees open and, you know, and act the goat. And it was fine, you know. I think everyone is insane. Nobody trusts science, but they trust science enough with all this. This is the thing. You know, I don't get it. I don't get any of it. But there you go. How do you think we've lived this long? How do you think we've extended our lifespan? How do you think? Well, I'll tell you how it all began. Do you want to know where it all began? Do you want to know where it all began? When they discovered about microbes. And they discovered about washing your hands. Because before that, nobody cared much for washing their hands. And immediately, when people started washing their hands, our life expectancy did a quantum leap. Wow. Exactly. So, you know, the more you know, the longer you live. And that's how our life expectancy is probably about 35, biologically speaking. This is why after 50, everything starts to go wrong in things, because we're not meant to naturally live that long. You know, if you put us in the world, lucky if you get to 40, you know. So yeah, science, bitch. It's how you're alive today. Meanwhile, Josh he's got superhuman strength, which is good. He's very useful when you need to get the top off of jars. Josh, you know, if you need a jar opening, give Josh a call. Boyd said, good morning from Canada. He's Ottawa. DISCO. DISCO. She's delightful. Yeah. Ottawa. Was Ottawa? Was it Ottawa? Oh. And it's only 5:20 in the morning. There you go. Up early riser. Exactly. The mind probe. There's many ways we could go, Robert. Many, many ways. AI. Computers will realise that we are the problem, and rise up against us in a chilling thing. they would create some kind of robot that might, I don't know, terminate us. Yeah, it could happen. It could happen. Remember, just be careful out there. Anyway, that's been enough fun. I'll see you all tonight. Vaccine, willing. Yeah. Again, if you need help, if you've got a flat tire, Josh will help you with your flat tire too. So anyway, I'll see you tonight. Hopefully, the COVID vaccine won't wipe me out before then. But yeah, don't be stupid. Trust science. Ta-da.